If you're new to the project, a big warm welcome. If you're a tough old root, then welcome back. Today is introducing the new $1,200 Steep in the Woods truck. It is a 1964 Ford F350. You're watching Steep in the Woods. I'm Josh.
I'm Celia.
And this is our daughter, Ivy. Here at Steep in the Woods, we are 100% off-grid. We live on a 14-acre mountaintop homestead nestled deep in the Appalachian Mountains of North Carolina. Here on Steep in the Woods, we do totally off-grid on a shoestring budget. You'll see no fancy stuff here. It's just making do with what you have and what you can figure out. What you think? You like the truck? She likes it. Hey, rock and roll. One of the reasons this truck was so cheap was because it was in unknown condition. It had been sitting for years and years, and that is exactly what I know about it. Everything else I have gleaned from looking at it, crawling over it, and things of that nature. But really, it was bought condition unknown. Therefore, we had to have it towed and placed down beside the road. So we did it. We finally got a truck. I didn't do any filming on the way there because it was really, really stressful. We live in the middle of nowhere, and so did this guy. But we were extraordinarily lucky to find someone this close, a tow truck driver willing to do it, and obviously a price that we could actually pay for. So we are now heading back to the mountain. We're just going to have this dropped off right beside the road because obviously can't nobody get up the mountain, especially not a flatbed. But either way, yes, Steep in the Woods has a truck now. All we got to do, so easy, fix everything on it, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll.
And just FYI, that is a pen that exploded on Josh's face.
On my face? Yes, it exploded on my face, my hand, some of the money I gave the guy. I'm surprised he didn't think this was some kind of like bank robbery money. This exploding thing. Anyway, yep, it's been paid for. It's on a truck. We just got about 45 minutes worth of driving because we can't go fast, obviously, with the man behind us. But yeah, my truck is about as big as the truck that's hauling it. When dealing with a vehicle that's been sitting for as long as this one has, step one is pulling out the gas tank and inspecting it. Is it worth salvaging? Is there gas in it? If so, how do you get that gas out and rejuvenate that tank to a point where it's still usable? So all that's involved in this is disconnecting the fuel line, the electrical wires going to your float, and 3 bolts along the top. And then in theory, your really old 1964 truck fuel tank behind cab deal here should just lift right out and be ready for cleaning, you know, I think. Well, that definitely feels heavy. There's a lot of something in there. Yeah. Alright, so it's definitely full of like 7 to 70-year-old gas. That's why this is step number 1. You really don't want to suck this stuff into your system. So step 1, clean out the gas tank. And it really needs... Yeah. Whoa! Okay, we got it. So unfortunately, that tank, I don't feel that it's a quality worth trying to salvage. They do make tank sealer, and while this tank doesn't have any holes in it, it is extraordinarily rusty on the interior. So much so, I feel like it would just cause problems for the rest of time. Regardless of what we do to this tank, I think it will always crop up as an issue, whether that just be having to change fuel filters on a regular basis or some kind of catastrophic failure. It's not going to work. And unfortunately, replacement tanks are almost $400, which for me, people like us, means that it might as well be non-existent. At that price point, it really, what's that, like a third of the cost of the vehicle itself? So we're going to have to go a totally different direction. So after doing quite a bit of research, I deduced, at least for myself and my own purposes, that this little 12-gallon marine tank was the perfect fit for right now as far as getting this truck on the road. 12 gallons is quite a lot of gas. It certainly beats the pants off our last one, which was 9 gallons. Last one as in the $1,000 truck. Other than that, and its price, the main selling point for me was it has a fuel gauge on it. Now, obviously, this gauge will not be in the cab, but the last one had nothing. So the only way to know how much gas that I had in our last truck was to take the cap off, look in it, and try to deduce how much I thought was in it. So, not only the size and the price, but also the fuel gauge was a huge selling point for this. Big thank you to Ben for helping us out with this tank. This will be an intermediary tank. At some point, we will end up doing a really large tank. Thinking maybe some big drums hanging on either side of the frame or something. But a really, really large tank will be in the future. However, this will get us going for as long as we want to use it. We have so many plans for this new truck. It is really going to be the keystone of where the project goes next. Not only with different revenue streams, such as sustainable logging the correct way. Because obviously people are going to log. The best I can do for planet Earth is to offer a wholesome alternative to traditional logging. So that is a business I want to get into, not only for the money, obviously, because you don't log for free, but also to hopefully make the world a slightly better place, one logging job at a time. We also have plans for many other avenues and many other projects with this truck. Not least of which, at some point, will be a tiny house build. That really is probably the biggest aspect, or the biggest thing this truck will accomplish in the long term, will be giving legs to a tiny house so that the project is then movable. That will take quite a while, but I am really excited about being able to bring y'all along for that process. So that's it for today. This really was just kind of a sneak peek, a show off, keeping everyone in the loop on what's happening here. If you liked what you saw, hit that button. If you're new to the project, hit that other button. You want to help support the project, there are links below. Until next time, here, Steep in the Woods.